Welcome to the Curated DJ podcast, your ultimate resource for mobile DJs looking to elevate their game. I'm here to help you tell better stories, master marketing, enhance your social presence, and ultimately book more gigs. I'm your host, Malik Adigan, and in each episode, we'll engage in valuable conversations and share expert insights to boost your mobile DJ business. Because I truly believe that you've got the talent, and I'm here to help you shine and let the world know that. So, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, get ready for a journey of growth, inspiration, and success in the world of mobile DJing. Let's get into this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Curated DJ podcast, man. I'm excited to be here. My voice is half gone. I'm drinking tea. But long story short, I'm here with a new friend of mine and colleague, and we're working on some dope stuff behind the scenes. And maybe, no, I won't be out by this, but we're working on some really cool stuff. And I love what you're doing. I love what you are putting out into the DJ industry world and how you're helping a lot of different business owners who are building a business. But ladies and gentlemen, with me today, the one and only David Osborne.
What's going on, guys? What's going on, Malik?
How you doing, bro? Well, I'll reach over here. Good to see you.
You too.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
What are you drinking? You got a bourbon?
It's an old fashioned from the bar downstairs. Yeah.
Well, welcome, man. I know we're here at DJC in like day 3, in the middle of like a break, and you pulled up on us here. So welcome. How you feel? You saying hi to all your friends? And
Yep. About 2 hours out. So I live in Athens. So about 2 hours from here. I said I'm hopping in the car just to come chat with you.
Come on, bro.
Come on.
You would sit in Atlanta traffic.
I did it. I did it. I have the stress marks to prove it.
Dude, well, I'm like literally, I met you this year, right? This past year.
Yeah, it was just this year.
This is my first time seeing you in person.
Yeah.
Right? So, dude, thanks for being on that. Thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So I just want to hop in, man. I want to talk about a little bit about what I think you're doing really well at. And I think one of the things that I think you have really provided to the DJ world, but ultimately you're in Athens.
Yeah.
And you have a multi-op.
Two
multi-ops.
Yeah.
2 multi-ops in Athens?
Correct.
Explain that.
So we got a premier brand. So probably a lot of your listeners have something similar. You know, you're talking like the $2,500 DJ type deal.
Yeah. You
know, something exclusive, something nice. Got the sparkles, looks nice on the IG.
Sure.
And then we got a training company. We've got a budget brand, as we call it. It's a sub $1,000, like $995 type deal.
Yeah.
And then that serves our local market around Athens and provides us a great space to train DJs from the ground up. And then when they're earmarked, they're ready to move up, we let they got that pedigree.
Yeah.
We slide them up to the other brand.
And so they're a different name, different brand, like
completely different.
And you're the owner of both, correct? Are you the face in both?
I'm the face of the premier brand. And then people know locally that I'm involved and the founder of the budget brand, but I try to stay out of the day-to-day operations of that as much as possible.
Sure, I want to talk about that. Because that's something that, you know, I think a lot of DJs have talked about is like kind of split marketing, kind of two different. And I wanted to do it like because, you know, you leave all this money on the table, you feel like, in the lower market, and you're like, damn, I mean, I can run a volume base and try to, you know, pick up some of that. But then I'm like, I don't even know if I could run it differently. Like, do you run the companies differently?
Yes and no. There's the forward facing, what the client sees,
right.
And then there's the behind the scenes. And what the client sees is, it's different. We make sure that whoever's responding to emails, who's ever on the phone, is using a certain tone and cadence, and they're not replying in a certain time frame. It's systemed out. We want it to feel different. So if they were to contact both companies at the same time, within 5 minutes, they're going to have a different experience coming at them. We've got different gear, different packages, different DJs, different brand promise. Everything's different.
How you like doing that?
You know, at first it was, okay, so this is how the idea came about, right? I was in Athens, there's a strip mall, and this is back in 2019. And at 2019, I was struggling. Your boy here did like 150 events myself. And I was like, I'm trying to get to that multi-op swag, but I can't get over the hump. I can't trust anybody. Sure. I can't trust people with this brand. I can't figure out how to get this. You know, the gap was huge. Well, I walk into a Banana Republic to buy a shirt, which I'm clearly not wearing today. This is probably like Shein or something, documentary style. But like, and I'm looking around. I'm like, I didn't see what I liked. So I walk next door into a Gap.
Classic.
Okay. And then I was like, you know, just for fun, what's next door? Oh, an Old Navy. Well, fun fact, all three of those stores are all owned by the same joker. So I was like, okay, light bulb moment. Why can't I be my own competition here in my town? Like, why can't I do this? Why can't I have a lower brand and a higher brand? Lexus, Toyota, it's the same thing, right? You've got, what is it, like Cadillac.
Yeah.
You got different tiers of the same manufacturing. You just have different trims of different things, right?
That's true. So is there different profit margins on those?
Yes.
I'm guessing the Premier has more profit margin. Would I be able to say to assume?
Not on the base package. On the base package, it's about the same. But as you start moving up into the middle package, into the top package, the profit margins are way higher because you've got all the EE, you've got the extras, you got the photo booths and all that.
So so if you're a luxury high-end premier company, does it automatically make you more profitable than a volume-based?
No, that's not how profit works.
So you're saying, you can make more doing volume if you do it right.
Yeah, have you met McDonald's and at Walmart? Of course you can. I mean, it's not sexy, but you can.
So I'm asking almost for the listening because I think there's this conversation in our industry about that. Of like, people put the people who are charging the most and who are in the bigger weddings, higher end, they kind of view them as like, oh, they're making more.
Yeah.
Whereas you got volume based and be killing it and making more profit.
Yeah.
And that's interesting because perceptions might not be reality in that sense.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I could tell you all day long some stories about our sales from just the past, I don't know, just this month. What is it, the middle of November? So just this month, you could watch our sales and you can watch our metrics and our scorecards, right? Where you have, in a week, we might have, I don't know, let's say 8 sales calls for a premier brand, okay? But you might book 20 weddings at the bottom company for almost no effort. You know what I'm saying? Like they email and they say, hey, I want a DJ. And you say, okay. And they're like, I'll book it. And you're like, okay, here's a contract, done. And you're like, wait a minute. So they're almost running at the same numbers.
Yeah. Company A books 10 at 2 in 1 month, but company B can book 1 at 10.
Correct. And there's no right or wrong because I think like, I get asked this all the time on the national stages, local stuff, in my DMs. People are like, oh, I want to do a budget brand. I want to do it. It looks like it's awesome. Sure. And I tell people, you only should do it if it solves your problem. Because it's got, every solution has got more problems that comes with it.
Yeah, well, I charge a whole lot for what I do, but I also spend a whole lot. Yeah. And so over time, I started going, okay, well, hold up, like, my offer is as your offer gets bigger, you tend to, as you charge more, you tend to offer more. And so I started thinking a little bit differently of like with this premium brand that I do have, and then even me being even more premium than my luxury multi-op, I started going, wait, I'm not going to start doing more just because I'm charging more. I want to talk about value and like this is what I'm worth creatively when I show up. Just being me and what I'm doing, and not just going, well, because I'm going to charge 10K, but I'm going to add in Nicole Sparks, and I'm just going to beef it up. Now you're doing more, and now there's more costs. Right?
Yeah, you have much more cost, and it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep.
Right.
And there's a point where you have to understand that, like, am I doing this for profit or am I doing it for ego? Right. And you can do it for both, and that's cool. And there's no right answer. That's the fun part. So we've got one company for ego and one for profit, basically. Because you would never. I DJ for the premier company, right? And my ego, it is my child. It's my birth. It's my baby. It's my first baby. I had that before my daughter was born. I had my DJ company, and it was a lot of pride and a lot of ego and a lot of self-worth is just like wrapped up in this brand. So the way I make decisions on it and the way that I protect it, it's like it's my child. And then I've got another company that I started just to solve a problem. And man, that emotional separation works.
Seems more utility.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like you got a lot of people a part of this operation. These operations.
Yeah.
One of the things I admired about how you do things and what you do is the way you've like integrated like some really good organization and leadership principles. Like I think from top down, you can see it. And obviously you have something called the blueprint, which is an amazing platform where you're resourcing multi-ops for the most part, it seems, to streamline and train the people.
Yep.
Like, first off, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, we like to say that we standardize and scale.
Standardize and scale?
Yeah. So a lot of our clients are existing multi-ops that have between 5 and 15 DJs. And a lot of the stories that I hear are, well, we grew too fast.
Sure.
The demand was there, and I started picking people up, some 1099s. I got some guys in my market that are great. They got a reputation.
Picking people off the street.
Picking people, just grabbing whoever. Hey, you know how to use a Rev 7?
no.
You do?
Saturday, what are you doing?
Right. Everybody's just got a Rev 7 in their coat. And they bring people on, and then, fast forward a year later, and they've made some money, but there's some holes. Yeah. They've got 1 or 2 of them are fantastic. 1 or 2 are terrible. Yeah. And then there's somewhere in between where it's like the 10-80-10. There's 10% are terrible, 10 are great, and 80% are in the middle.
Might be getting some bad reviews.
Yeah. And so you got to protect that. So that's standardization. It's like, let's go in and fix the concrete foundation, make sure there's not any cracks in it. We can build a tall house on that thing.
Yeah.
And scale is, let's bring some new people into this and make it bigger.
I love that. So the biggest thing, though, when it comes to scaling is, and why I love the training, is the quality control of it all, right? Like,
yeah,
how do I get bigger, but how do I put a bunch of Chick-fil-A's everywhere, but when they go to Atlanta and they go to New York, it's the same shit the same?
Correct.
And so what does the blueprint do in that sense? Like, what is that? Where does the blueprint play a part of that?
Okay, so the blueprint is the college course, right? So you got to find the people for the college course, but it's the college course that streamlines everybody. So what we're doing in the course content is teaching conceptual learning, right? So it's wireless microphone seems to be the best example that everyone understands. Like, all your listeners that are DJs are going to get this, I think, because we could talk all day long. Do you use a Shure BLXR? Do you use a Sennheiser G4? Do you use blah, 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 QLXD, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. Now, it matters because you technically have to know how to use the actual equipment when you go to your gig, but the conceptual learning that keeps your DJs from calling you on Saturday at 3 p.m. being like, Malik, I don't know why this doesn't work, is what is AF? What is RF? What's an antenna?
Yeah.
Which antenna should I use? Why should I scan? How do you keep clear channels? What happens if 2 microphones are on the same channel?
Yeah.
All of these like conceptual things, and there's assignments and there's quizzes that go with it. So when they're done with this module about wireless microphones, they're curious enough with their own gear to problem solve, troubleshoot, and then figure it out on their own before calling you at 3 p.m. on Saturday.
Whoa.
So the entire thing is teaching people the building blocks of how to be a great vendor and to be a great entertainer and bring a consistent show.
It's dope because you're like helping these companies which the Curated DJ talks about is about brand, which like is how you show up online, right? How you show up when people find you, but you're helping them help their company show up actually in person and deliver the thing they're selling. Deliver the story they've been telling, like showing up in person and doing that. And as we know, as a multi-app owner, like I can't be there in every, I can't be at every gig with my DJ outfit. Yeah. So this is like helping me like really hone in on the physical representation of our brand. Yeah. I think it's so helpful, like, training and systems and making sure that there's a pipeline has been one of our biggest like challenges in the last year. So
totally. Yeah. And I mean, I could shoot my business shot here and say that like, we're going to talk about what a KPI is, right? A KPI is a key performance indicator, and really you don't have many, and I think they're pretty universal for everybody. Yeah. You got like, do you measure how many leads you get? How many people know about you and then contact you? Then another KPI could be how many deals are you closing, right? So that's what online presence does. That gets you the people, gets you aware of a brand, and then helps you close a show. Like that's what your online presence does. But then the third KPI is what we call like value actualization. That's when your client realizes in the moment that what they paid for is what they got, or the value was more than what they paid for it, right?
Yeah.
So this is what we do. We are that KPI. It's like when you promise this thing, what we're showing, what we're sending out is exceeding what you thought you were getting.
That's key, bro. That's really helpful.
That's business talk, right?
That's business talk. So, so before we get out of here, because we're going to get kicked out, obviously, we didn't want to tell you, but we're going to get kicked out of here if we don't already get bought. But I think this is part one of many conversations that we're going to have.
Yeah.
But I would like to tease something that we're working on. I don't know if we should we do that?
We should tease it.
We should tease it?
We should tease it.
Cool. Okay.
Where?
So we're kind of like collabing on a course right now.
Yeah.
And we've been working months. Well, we're about to actually go and fill a bunch of it in the next couple of weeks, actually. But we're doing a course on branding.
Yes, sir.
And when it comes to that course, like our goal is to try and help you as a multi-op show up, well, help your people show up and kind of systemize this branding process. So can you give a little breakdown of what this course kind of is going to be?
Yeah, and I'm going to give a good DJC shout out.
Let's go.
To my man Jason Janai.
Hello. That
he doesn't even know I'm doing. So I came to DJC in 2019, and he said a thing in a breakout about being intentional with your media capture. That's always stuck with me. So that's 4 years ago. And what you're doing is that on steroids. Because I could tell you, hey, come to my event, shoot some stuff, stand here. That's great. What I discovered that you have is you have a completely broken down system of phone settings. What to shoot, how to shoot, camera movements, what to do with your content, what is viral content, what is not viral content, what matches our brand, what's our brand voice.
Yeah.
All of these concepts that can be in a training course for your team. Then you slap a high quality titanium enclosed iPhone 15 in their hand and they got the right settings. They're set up for success. They've been trained, they've practiced, they've done assignments. They can go out and shoot content that gets back to that first, performance indicator that's showing people that result.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited. Because we want anything that, any goal you have, if you don't systemize it, obviously you don't, what is it like? If you don't systemize something that you want, you're never going to get to it. Like, and this is like, here's a system. Here's the step 1, step 2, step 3 of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm super excited for it. I'm super excited to see it come alive and to see like how we can put this in the hands of a multi-op and see them have the people go out and create content.
Yes.
And have it come back and pushed out that represents their brand and tells their story. Because I think the thing we're not doing as mobile DJs is leaning into who we are, is telling our story, is allowing time for creativity, allowing time for strategy, and ultimately systemizing this whole thing.
Yeah. Because
it needs to be a part of who we are. Just like our payroll systems and all these systems that keep things going.
So important.
This needs to be a part of who we are.
I got a backhanded compliment one time from Alex Nepa.
Yeah.
And he said, he saw me DJ at a conference and he said, man, you really hide that performance well. And I said, what does that even mean? What are you saying to me? And he goes, he was complimenting my performance, but he said, I had no clue. I didn't know that was coming because nothing on my social, nothing anywhere on the sites was showing that was something I could do. And I was like, the first time I was like, man, we got to get better at this.
We'll end this with that quote. DJs, you are hiding that performance so well. And we would like for you to come out of hiding. And I think, focusing on your brand and telling that story is coming out of that hiding. So, David, man, this is part 1. I feel like we got cut a little short, but I'm okay. I think that's good. I think it's the beginning of a long running conversation that we're going to keep having.
That's right.
In public and for our DJ community. So thanks for coming this far, man. Hopefully grab a drink before you get out of here.
Yes, sir.
But David, man, thank you so much for being on there, and look out for that Blueprint course. Where can people find you?
You can find me personally at DJ_David Osborne on Instagram. You can also find the Blueprint at Blueprint Learn. Guess what? Blueprint apparently is a very expensive URL. So Blueprint Learn is what we landed on. Blueprint Learn on all the socials, blueprintlearn.com. And
my brother.
There you go.
Thank you, man.
Hey, my man.
See you guys. Thanks for listening to an episode of the Curated DJ podcast. Make sure you like, comment, don't subscribe. I don't care.